बुला लो, सबको बुला लो.
अब सबको बुलाओ.
Okay, we're live. And hello and welcome to Rev Sports. It's the day we've all been waiting for. And tonight we will all be witness to a clash between South Africa and India. Both teams unbeaten, both teams desperate to lift the trophy. It's going to be a thrilling affair. But we still have half a day before the match starts, and Boria Mujumdar, and Trisha Goshal are here to give you all the weather updates, whatever is going on in Barbados. So let's start with that. But before we get to the weather, before more people join us, so we can give a collective weather update. How are you guys feeling? I woke up this morning and I was pouring my tea and I realized India's in the finals. It's either heartbreak or the best day ever. Trisha.
I think I have a gut feeling we are winning, so I'm quite relaxed.
Ooh. Boria, what about you? Do you have a little bit of nerves? I know we're not playing, but you still feel a little jittery.
No, everybody does. That is why you watch the sport. When Neeraj throws the javelin, you feel with him. When Sindhu plays the final, you feel with him. When Rohit goes for the toss, you feel with him. When the national anthem is being sung by the players, it's not the 11 who is singing the national anthem, who are singing the national anthem. It's a collective billion. They are playing for who? They are playing for the tricolor. That belongs to both you, me, and Trisha, and for everybody. So that's why it's the country that's playing. Rohit Sharma, it's the India name doesn't belong to anyone. It belongs to all of us. We are a collective. We are playing for India. We are all supporting the team. That's how it is. And that's why the sport is the lifeblood of this country. So I can understand your sentiment. I can understand Trisha's sentiment also, that she has that confidence that yes, we are winning it. That's why we are who we are. And look at Bharat. He's actually decided he will wear green today for South Africa. That's why I love Bharat so much.
No, Bharat, are you really wearing green for South Africa?
No, not nothing like that. A few shirts here. I randomly picked one today as well.
I also randomly picked, but it turned out to be blue. So good for Gargi. Pat on
It
the back.
doesn't blue to us. It seems purple. So no.
It is white. I think, yeah, it's not blue,
What?
whatever it is.
Yeah,
Stripe.
exactly.
It's not blue.
Don't try to make it blue, Gargi. Just like
It's. I will send a picture on the group after the live is done.
No, let's ask people who are watching and they can tell whatever it is not blue.
It's
yeah,
blue.
exactly. The stripes are blue. Okay, the stripes are blue.
Yeah. So I'm
So don't
striping blue.
The stripes are blue.
Striping blue tonight. But Bharat, we were talking about how we're feeling ahead of the match. Trisha is confident that India is going to win it. I'm a little bit jittery because last time thoda sa PTSD. But Bharat, what about you?
Yeah, I just said a few words on X as well. The same thing I'm repeating. See, for the last 11 years, India have come very close to winning numerous ICC trophies. It could be Champions Trophy, World Test Championship Final, World Cups, T20 World Cup, 50-over World Cup 2023. They missed out every single time. They have not been able to provide the finishing touches. They have to use all those bitter experiences into winning into winning a trophy this time around, because it's not success, it is failure that teaches you more. It makes you even more motivated. For example, Rafa Nadal lost to Federer in the 2007 Wimbledon final. He had a break point or two in the final, lost that match. He himself said afterwards that he went into the lawns or something and cried for a while and then talked to himself, next time I'll come and win this Wimbledon. And he did that in a cliffhanger. So all those past experiences, you have to use it, bitter experiences, into winning a trophy. And if it's not now, when will India win an ICC trophy? So I think this could be India's ICC trophy, I believe. It should have happened last year in the 2023 World Cup final. Yeah, it didn't happen, but God has given them another chance, yet another chance, and this has to be India's World Cup, I guess.
Yes, it has to be. Okay, so I think we're. Boria?
Somebody is asking, Bharat bhai, KS Bharat आपका relative है क्या? Oh boy.
Relatives with first name basis. But quite funny. I think enough people have joined us and we can get on to talking about the weather over there. So, Boria, you've been talking to Devashish and Ishan. Tell us about what the weather's like.
Yeah, I mean, when they landed in Barbados yesterday around 9:30 p.m. India time, Ishan was there at the airport while Devashish had left for the stadium. So by the time Ishan sent us the weather update and we put it out instantly, it was pouring. It was pouring cats and dogs so much that Rohan was asking Devashish and Ishan to have a rain dance and celebrate, because Rohan was doing that in Calcutta where it was pouring as well. So it was pouring cats and dogs, and we put out that video. Within half an hour, Devashish starts sending visuals where Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid had gone to inspect the wicket, and it was bright and sunny. It was bright and sunny. I mean, as fickle as whatever. I mean, maybe the votes. So that's how it was. Airport was raining and pouring. The pitch and around the stadium was bright and sunny. Around 9 p.m. it started pouring again. 11:30 p.m. when Devashish and Ishan sent the final update, it was slightly drizzling. Then it stopped. I asked Gaur Gupta, my friend who's at the Hilton, the team hotel. It was not raining then. So around midnight, which is around now, midnight, it's not raining in Barbados. So periodic updates we will keep giving every 2-3 hours from Barbados with our correspondents and everybody else. So we'll keep people updated.
Absolutely, and we have quite a lot of. 1 second, there's an echo. We have quite a lot of questions as well.
Please call Devashish Mama. That fellow has to sleep, Ayush. That fellow has to sleep. And that is why the four of us are here. You don't want to watch us four. We've got Bharat as special guest. I requested Trisha. Gargi and I are common features. What is this? Please call Devashish Mama. Watch us. Watch us for a change.
It hurts, Ayush, when you say something like this.
Oh boy.
But yeah, they're sleeping, they're resting, they need a good night's rest to cover the final. So we'll let them sleep. Also, okay, a lot of questions. Priyam Chatterjee is saying, should Sanju replace Shivam today? Write out no from Trisha. I won't even ask.
It's the final. You're not replacing the playing 11 unless there's an
Yeah.
injury. It's the final. Last day, you don't have to bring in Sanju. If Shivam doesn't play, it's fine. And I honestly think last match, Shivam was brought in at the wrong time. I'm not saying he has been the best batter in the team, but especially when a batter is going through a period of low scores, I think the best way to deal with him is getting in when he gets runs. Sorry, not Sanju. Shivam Dubey has faced 38 balls of the spinners and has scored 47 of them. He's anyway there as a spin disruptor. So ideally, he should have been brought when the spinners were playing and not when a pacer has come on. So I think there was a little bit of a mistake. I think Boria has already stated where Hardik was, sent ahead of Shivam. I think a little bit of a calculation mistake, but as long as we are winning, it doesn't matter. In the finals, I'm never gonna change the team. Never. And we have come here unbeaten, by the way. It's not like we have lost a single match.
Absolutely. And okay, this is an interesting question. We have a lot of questions about the pitches, what pitch is being used, how the pitch will play. Bharat, if you have an idea, Barbados pitch, what are you expecting out of this surface?
Yeah, the
Uh,
Before Bharat answers, try and play the visuals of Rohit Sharma, Rahul Dravid, and fellows inspecting the wicket also, because they were
yeah,
straight there. Devashish had sent us those photos. You can play those as Bharat answers.
Yeah, I guess there would be more bounce, obviously, at a venue like Bridgetown compared to Guyana. There would be obviously more bounce. But whatever little I saw when India took on Afghanistan, Australia took on England at that ground, the bounce seemed a little more loopy, as they say, spongy bounce. It was not as flat as, say, in Saint Lucia where there was even bounce. So the ball might stop on the batter a little more. Obviously, there's a lot of rain around. That's what I keep hearing. It's a lot of rain around Bridgetown. So if there is rain around just before the match or something like that, there could be a little more moisture. If there's a little more moisture, then the wicket could be slightly tacky. So that could be something in it for the bowlers. But having said that, more bounce brings batters into play, because then they can land their shots. So I guess it could be a wicket where team batting first would look at something like 180. Again, if there's too much moisture, then 180 also might look difficult. But I'm not taking into consideration external factors, then 180, a score of 180, 190 could be a good score at a venue like Bristol.
Yes, and Mayank Madan has asked a interesting question. Is that what is the scenario if we don't get a full game tonight? I think tonight also they have added 4 extra hours, haven't they?
No, it's 190 minutes. It's 3 hours 10 minutes that has been added today. 190 minutes, and if there is no complete game, if it's a washout, then you go into the reserve day. They'll try and finish it tonight. And if you've added 190 minutes, given what we've seen of the weather, I do expect the game to be done tonight. So 3 hours and 10 minutes is what has been added.
Plus we have the reserve day, so anyways, we'll get a full game no matter what. Mahendra Singh Gambhir, what?
This is the best, profile name that I've seen in a long, long while. Mahendra Singh Gambhir. You have united the best friends, but yes.
I was reading it, and first I started off with thinking this is a real name, and then when I went to Gambhir, I was like, what just happened? Uh, but yes, Trisha, why don't you?
Yeah, there is 50-40 percentage chances of rain decreasing hopelessly. Hopelessly, we'll see a full match. Hopefully, not hopelessly. But yes, I was just seeing the weather update. It mostly says windy and 30%, 35% chances of precipitation, which I think Boria continuously says this. And we have seen when it's 35% chances of precipitation, generally the rain doesn't happen. So maybe a start stop. I'm seeing that from 11 to 1, the chances of precipitation is little high, but in and around, I'm like, before that and after that, it's perfectly fine. So maybe the game will go on from 10 to 11, 11:30, and then there's a spell of shower. But after 1, there's no, at least in weather.com, I can't see showers after 1. So yeah,
Yeah,
very
these are the
useful.
results. Uh, not Virat, Rohit Sharma, Rahul
Rohit,
Dravid
Rohit.
inspecting the
They're
pitch,
inspecting.
thinking about what to do tonight, bat or bowl, what to go with, what combination will be same. Okay, so we'll take a few more questions as well. Sujit Santosh is saying 2 questions. Should India bat first if they win the toss? And Samson in for Dubey. It could be out out of the box plan for South Africa. Anyway, Dubey is not firing, but it's not happening. Boria, what do you think?
It's not a bad question. It's not a bad question at all. Because look, you've messed up with Dubey's mind. You've
Yeah.
messed up with Dubey's mind by sort of not giving him the batting order that possibly he sort of had been accustomed to at number 5 when Liam Livingston was bowling. And I thought India was way too cagey against Liam Livingston. I mean, come on, Liam Livingston is not a first-rate leg spinner. Adil Rashid, I understand. Rashid bowled 4 overs for 20 odd, 24. Liam Livingston 4 overs for 24. So 8 overs for 50. That's nothing. You were attacking the other bowlers, but not Livingston. That is when I thought India should have sent Dubey and attack Livingston. Why not? Go for Livingston, get a couple of sixes. If you see the way Dubey played against Australia and Bangladesh, when did he score his runs? He was 15 balls, 10 runs against Bangladesh. And that's when Nazmuz Hassan Shanto made the mistake of bringing Shakib Al Hassan. And then he got that Hussain fellow, the leg spinner, Riyad Hussain. That's when Shivam Dubey got
Rishabh.
20 odd runs in 10 balls. Rishad Hussain, correct. Rishad Hussain. So he got 20 odd runs in 10 balls. So clearly he capitalized on the spin against Australia. He capitalized on that ability of his to hit the ball mid-wicket square, that area. That's his arc. So why not against Liam Livingston? Today, if you want to play Shivam Dubey, somehow get him in against a Keshav Maharaj and a Tabrez Shamsi. I mean, come on. If you get him in against a Rabada and a Nokia at the death, if you get him in against a Marco Janssen at the death, I don't think Shivam Dubey has that ability against a Rabada and Nokia at 150. You have to get him into his comfort zone. The team management must give him a clarity of role. So that's why I'm saying this is not a bad question. You've messed with his mind. So you get him Sanju Samson, who will play fearless cricket because he knows one opportunity. One opportunity, even if he fails, no one will say anything to him. But it's unlikely that will happen. But it's clearly an out of the box kind of thing, like you tried with Yusuf Pathan in the 2007 World Cup as an opener. So you got an out of the box change and you tried it out and you hit a first six. But look at these visuals. Look at the sun. Look at how the sun is. And 20 minutes back, before these visuals were taken, at the airport it was pouring. So it's a very fickle kind of weather with some rain around in Bridgetown. Teams will have to be precise and clinical in their strategy also.
Absolutely. Freaking awesome is saying, although Barbados is a decent batting wicket, winning the toss and bat first is the right way to go. In day games, you can score 170 to 190, but 165 is the highest score in second innings as the wicket slows down. Bharat, would you like to take this one?
Yeah, I just made a point, right? I said 180, 190 could be a good score batting first, but what I've seen in those matches is some of those matches, Australia, England, or Afghanistan, India at Barbados, there's a little bit of loopy bounce. So when there's a little bit of loopy bounce in the second innings, the ball stops a little bit on the batter, and that is when it gets tougher to bat. So batting first could be a good decision. Even if you look at from both teams' perspective, India want to bat first. Generally, they have done well batting first, if you notice. And same with South Africa, they're looking at their brittle batting lineup. Such kind of brittle batting lineup. Only Quinton de Kock is in the top 10 run getters batting charts in this World Cup from South Africa. Rest of them have not really fired, a little bit from Klaasen, a little bit from Miller, but they're not fired as a batting group. So they would also want to bat first. So looking at that from that perspective, I guess batting first would be the right way to go because you expect a little bit of spongy, loopy bounce here in Barbados, not the even bounce that you kind of see in Saint Lucia, where I think that is the flattest wicket in the Caribbean, Saint Lucia, not this one. This one is, I think, second flattest. The flattest one is in Saint Lucia.
Yeah. Um, More questions, more questions. Abhishri, as I watched local news from Barbados, there are cyclonic conditions. Arrival was on Monday, as in landfall was on Monday. But rain has started earlier. US media also said that it's not a good sign for cricket fans. Cyclonic conditions would be actually difficult. Something like Florida, maybe. But we have a reserve day, so ho jayega. Don't worry.
I don't even think that I know we are just worried about the rains and all. I honestly
Yeah.
think that it will be anticlimactic, and we'll just have the toss at the right time and everything will go right. Somehow, I don't know. When I woke up with this gut feeling, and somehow that is giving me a lot of positive energy, considering I didn't have a really great day yesterday.
Okay. Ayush Singh, why stadiums haven't been fully packed even in a knockout? Now, that's a good question. Boria, sir.
This is for Boria to answer. Please go ahead. Why
This is why I say you guys are very naughty. You all. This is the naughtiness of these fellows. Trust me. She's saying, pick on me, pick on me. I mean, come on. She's having her morning coffee and having fun at my expense. This is how your team is. Look at them. Rohit Sharma gets more respect in the Indian dressing room. What do you do? Anyway, to answer that question, and you're right, two things. One, you don't expect locals to. West Indies is out. Yes, Indian expats from around the world are making it, but West Indies is not an easy place to get to. This is not England. I buy a ticket for what, £800, 70,000, 80,000 rupees, and I'll get there. The purchasing power of the Indian middle class allows you to get there with a 60, 70,000 rupee ticket. London, you have millions of accommodation or whatever to choose from, and you can manage it. Here, to get to Barbados, what is your if you want to go from India? You have to go either Calcutta Gatwick, India Gatwick, London, and then London Barbados is one direct BA flight. Otherwise, there's no flight. There's no flight. The total flight cost for even economy is 2.5 lakh rupees, quarter to 3 lakh rupees. Quarter to 3 lakhs plus staying in Barbados, where yes, it is a touristy town, at least about a couple of $100 a night. So you are talking about a 7-8 lakh rupees for one game. Now, who has that kind of money to go? The US based Indians will come from America to Barbados. That's the kind of crowd you will get. So one expects for the World Cup final, you will have fans. But for that crowd to get to St. Lucia or to get to Guyana, where the connectivity is zero, our fellows left Guyana at 6 p.m. after the match and finally reached Barbados at 9:20 a.m., having spent a night in St. Lucia because there were no flights. So when you're talking about this kind of logistical challenge, logistical nightmare, you understand how difficult it is for fans. So US leg security was an issue, excessive security rather was an issue, ticket prices were an issue, cost was an issue. How many people have US visas? How many people have US visas for that to get facilitated and you go? Trisha does. That is why Trisha is special. She's putting her hand up. But the point is, there has been a serious logistical challenge as far as
Also,
this World
Porya,
Cup.
the US very costly.
Of course, it is. US visa is expensive. Plus, if you go through a hospitality partner like a Fanatic Sport or somebody like that, you might get it, but it's not cheap. Nothing of this is cheap. It's not as if you're buying a ticket of 10,000 rupees and going and watching a match and coming back. Sorry, boss, that's not happening. And West Indies is another end. Had the men in maroon qualified, then the local crowd would come together, the islands would come together, the local flavor would come together. South Africa doesn't have support. Australia or England doesn't have that kind of support. Had West Indies made it, so if you're talking about India, which brings in a kind of expat support, which brings in some people from the US, some from Dubai, some from London traveling, like my friend Gaur Gupta has traveled from Canada with his family. So those are the kind of Indian fanatic supporters who will go. Otherwise, look, Gargi, it's very difficult in the West Indies to fill a CPL. Why do people go? Because it's local. Here, West Indies is out. Without the local team, think about it. Had India not played the final in Ahmedabad and Australia would have played with any team, you think 130,000 people would be full? Nobody would even care. Nobody would care. 40,000 people would go and watch a final. So nationalism is an issue. West Indies cricket is an issue. And the whole logistical challenge is also an issue.
Yes, Gargi, you're on mute, and as usual, you're
Sorry.
speaking.
Yeah, I was giving a monologue and on mute. But Bharat, uh, also talking about, okay, one other comment, interesting comment here is, sorry to say, ICC has pathetically failed in this World Cup for managing pitch conditions, logistics, traveling. Who is going to penalty? No one. Who is going to penalty the ICC? Uh, well, unless they feel very guilty about it and
But
punish
pitch
themselves.
conditions, I didn't get it. Pitch conditions, as it? Which pitch was
New
that
York,
bad? The US ones. Ah, yeah.
yeah. Bharat, what do you say about this?
Yeah, some of those tracks in New York were dicey, I would say, because there's a lot of variable bounce. It felt like you're watching not day one, but day four or day five of a century in test match. For T20 cricket, you don't expect such kind of conditions where the ball is bouncing too much. Sometimes it is keeping low. I thought the semi-final game between Afghanistan and South Africa, there was a little more variable bounce than expected, at least for a semi-final, but not as much as what we saw in New York. But the pitches in New York, and then I think the drainage system in Florida was below par, way below par for an international cricket venue. That was way below par. But otherwise, it's okay in terms of managing drainage systems. We saw in Antigua it was good, in Guyana it was good, in Saint Vincent it was good when Bangladesh took on Afghanistan. So overall, it was decent. But New York pitches, I agree, they were pretty poor. Logistics, I can't really comment, but again, Boris has already noted that logistics around the West Indies, the connectivity is not exactly great, and you have to. It's not exactly great, the connectivity. So, but again, ICC, in the past too, we have had there have been problems, but overall basis, I think it has been decent, barring those pitch conditions in New York and Florida. The drainage system was extremely bad. Barring that, I think West Indies leg has been quite decent.
Yeah, and Gaurav Dharmik is saying, Boryada, I don't see any change in the 11 in the final. I think India should follow the same template and should be holding the nerves well. Then the trophy is ours and KG is the real threat. KG?
Rabada.
Kagiso Rabada.
Kagiso Rabada.
Oh, yeah. But
Yeah, you're right in terms of Rabada being the threat, because Rabada is a great. I mean, if you think the last time India was in South Africa, he can generate a spell from nowhere. He excites himself, gets into a bit of a fight, looks people in the eye, riles himself up, and comes and bowls an incredible spell. Rabada, of course, is the threat, but it's very easy to say, much easier said than done to hold nerve. If I was able to hold nerve, I'll sort of be the best in anything I do, and that's for everybody. That's for everybody. If Bharat holds nerve when he's under pressure, then he's a great. It's not easy in any profession. Trisha and her, when I keep putting pressure, I need a 11 o'clock live, I need a 11 o'clock show. I keep putting pressure on her. It's not easy to deliver. That is the whole challenge. You're playing a World Cup final. You are watched by a billion people. It's not as if you and I are working in one little environment with 10 people putting pressure. A billion people putting pressure on these 11 gladiators in front of television sets and mobile phones and social media, which is up in arms and ruptures. It is not easy to keep calm. Yes, it is a game of bat and ball. You think the players don't know? You think the players don't know that it's the same thing that they do over and over again is what they're expected to do? But then why do you call it the Olympics? Why do you call it the World Cup final? The name, the World Cup final. Why did Gargi have a flutter the moment she woke up? Gargi should not have a flutter. The fact that she did, she's also getting into that zone of tension. Bharat is, Trisha is, I am. Each one of us are thinking, this is why are we doing this live? It's a special day. And those guys who are actors of that drama, they are the actors, the central acts in that drama. They will feel the pressure. They'll say it is just another cricket match. It is an attempt to divert that pressure. How they deal with that pressure. And by the way, the first thing to deal with pressure is acceptance. Accept you are in a World Cup final. Only then can you say how I will deal with it. If you say, Nana, it's just another match. It is not another match. You know, I know. It is a World Cup final. Accept the pressure, then go ahead and deal with that pressure. So it's not that easy. Having said that, you're playing for the world champions title. So it can't be easy.
And to Goldwyn, guys, appreciate all your efforts in giving the fans a great insights on the happenings. We hope we have a great game and we enjoy uh, together. Special thanks to Boria sir. Yes, and Siddharth actually saying something really nice. Want South Africa to win the trophy. Cricket needs a revival there. I recall the time of South Africa team in Adidas kit with Audi adverts in stands now reduced to no official sponsors. When you look back on that time, it's actually quite bittersweet when you think about their journey. And now, if they want a revival, like Siddharth is saying, this is the right time. The World Cup. If they win this, do you think there'll be a big revival in South Africa? Cricket sponsors rushing in, money rushing in.
Of course, it's always there. If you have a trophy, you will suddenly see a change in the whole way. Even cricket South Africa probably approaches the whole game, the sponsors, the investors, a lot at stake for South Africa, here, because probably this is the best time to revive cricket. But there's one more reason I kind of agree with Siddharth, is because you want this whole five good teams or four good teams to go away and cricket to become like really competitive. That is where it has to be beyond Australia, England, India. There have to be new teams. If new teams win, if new challenges are there. See how Afghanistan made the whole World Cup interesting. Similarly, how USA winning against Pakistan made it interesting, though Pakistan makes it interesting. But anyway, to be honest, I think powerhouses like India, England, Australia, there are three, four powerhouses. That is why we keep saying even before a tournament is played, you almost know the semi-finalists, right? So that shift will happen once teams like South Africa and all start winning the trophies.
Before
Yeah,
you
but
ask further questions, our women's team have scored 580 for four, which is the highest ever in a women's test match.
yep.
Harmanpreet 64, Richa 70, not
Yeah,
out at the
I'm watching
moment,
that.
580 for four. So let's
I'm watching
celebrate
that.
that it's the highest ever score. So that's a commendable achievement. And by the way, Gargi, Trisha, Bharat, which team are we playing against?
South
South
Africa.
Africa. South Africa.
But I
Was
had
this
said
Girls,
going?
the
I
girls
had
telling the
absolutely said
boys.
it.
The
I
girls
think,
telling the boys, go do it.
yeah, I know. In fact, Boria, I had tweeted this, I think, 2-3 days back, where I had written on the 29th, we are lifting the cup. And on the 30th, on the 29th, we are lifting the World Cup trophy. And on the 30th, we are lifting the Test match trophy, because I do think that India will get to 650 or 600, something of that sort, and declare. And then we'll bundle both the innings pretty easily because the ball is turning, it's keeping low.
Okay, look, Anto Goldwyn is telling us awake at 1 a.m. from the US to watch and hear from you guys. Great fan of Boria sirs. That
But he has written Boris
You know,
sir.
this is the bond. This is the
yeah.
bond that all of us stay up for. It's quality coverage. We are all intense and passionate and committed to our sport, not simply cricket. Like we were just talking about the women's game, we will talk about the Olympics, we will talk about the Paralympics with the same verve and the same commitment, in fact, more. So that's the whole commitment that we have. Each one of us. And by the way, the day has started for us at what? 7 a.m. in the morning, 6 a.m. in the morning, and it will continue till 3 a.m. in the morning. Each one of us will work till 3, 4. Gargi will, she'll host the shows. Trisha will. For Trisha, it will be even longer because she'll have to get the shows edited for tomorrow. So for us, it's a 24/7 cycle. And I keep telling my colleagues that you want to be a great journalist, you can't have a social life. It's sad, but it's true. So the sacrifices, and we don't consider them sacrifices, it's the choice of our profession. We've chosen it, is for you people. You watch us, you inspire us, you criticize us, you comment on us, you make it happen. It's one great community of sport that gives us that opiate of life, that gives us that, why do we treat sport special? Because it's a prism of life. It's not about winning, losing. It's not about who wins. Ultimately, yes, tomorrow we'll move on. If South Africa wins, the Proteas will have a new lifeline, a new song to sing. Think of color, think of racism, think of all of that in South Africa. Their first ever World Cup trophy. It's a different ball game. The sport would have taken a quantum leap. If India wins, it's the same. India wins, India will win a series of trophies, according to me, because that jinx would be broken. So a great final, and people like Anto, and there are many, many thousands more who are watching and will watch and follow us from around the world that make it possible. Not simply us, every journalist who's covering it is working hard. So follow everyone, back everyone, because ultimately, you know what? The community is minuscule. It's a small community of sports journalists and scribes and fans compared to the larger world. And especially in the case of cricket, how many countries play? How many people are interested when compared to a FIFA World Cup? So we need to back each other, make the most of this opportunity when there is a great spectacle, and raise the game to a different level.
Northeast POV is joining us from Assam, and he's saying hello, everyone on the panel. I think this match will be a last ball thriller, and India will just come out on the top by the barest of margins. Yeah, this is one prediction that I also agree with. I also think that it's going to be a very, very close match. Both teams unbeaten. When you think about it, it's going to be a very good contest. Bharat, do you also agree? It's going to be a last ball thriller, maybe even a super over. What do you think?
Oh God. T20 cricket is extremely unpredictable. So random. Anything can happen. It could be last ball thriller as well. Or South Africa, their first World Cup final, senior World Cup final. Let me add that they might choke a little bit and end up losing. So who knows? Yeah, from a cricketing perspective, hopefully it would go right till the last ball. It will go even to this super over, and if the first super over gets tied again, the next super over. So hopefully it will be that kind of a cliffhanger, that kind of a thriller. That means it also means that one can write some nice copies on it as well. So hopefully it will get into that kind of a situation. But that is from a cricketing perspective. From obviously Indian perspective, it will be a clinical win, hopefully, and a clinical and easy victory for India, and help them to break that jinx. But yeah, these two are unbeaten sides, so expect a close contest. But as I said, on a given day in T20 cricket, it's very unpredictable format. On a given day, when Nepal can defeat South Africa, they came very close. And another day, it could be like South Africa thrashing Nepal by 150 runs. This format would bring both sides very much closer together in terms of skill level. Let's see. Hopefully, it will be a very much a thriller where we will all bite our fingernails right at the end of the match.
Yes, and on that note, I think uh, we should say goodbye at this point because we'll be
There are
back.
wait, Gargi, there are two things
Yeah.
here. T20 cricket and the fickleness of T20 cricket can only be compared with Devashish Sen's moods. Nothing else in the world can compare.
That's true.
Okay, that is a statement. Go and ask Ishan Shahane and you will know. Ishan will run away. He will not dare answer. The only thing that can compare is that. The number two thing, Trisha knows way more about it. So that is why she's nodding vigorously. You know, Devashish, that day, the moment Ishan's phone conked off,
Oh my
Devashish's mood had gone from 0 to 360 degrees. So Devashish is in a different planet. If India wins, I want to see what Devashish does. He can do anything. He can do anything. Today he has said, I will go all out. What does that
Yeah,
mean,
he
Trisha?
will go all out. I am scared he will go with his camera inside the ground and do something massive. You be
And
ready, Boryada, with all the phone calls and everything, huh?
we'll get massive problems. We don't want that to happen. ICC will say, what is going on? Who is this character? What is he doing? But with Devashish, everything is possible. Today he has written in our work group, I will go all out. Bhai, what do you want to do? I mean, so that's Devashish sent for you. And the second thing, this is equally more important. If India doesn't win, it is your responsibility, Gargi, to ensure that Ishan has his tickets. Otherwise, Devashish will go to the airport leaving Ishan in his hotel room, and I promise you that. He will do inevitably this. He had done this with Shubhan in Ahmedabad. India lost. Devashish packed his bags and went for the hotel. Shubhan woke up in the morning and saw the empty room. Said, where is Devashish? He called Devashish. He didn't take the call. He went to the airport and realized, hey, this guy has come to the airport. So Devashish
God.
had left Shubhan. Yes, he did that. He actually did that. He left Shubhan and went.
Yes, yes. Shubhan woke up and Shubhan said, I did not find a single bag there, nothing. And then I called Devashish, and Devashish is like, I'm already at the airport. You can come whenever you want.
My goodness. That's next level. That's next level. But on that note, hopefully Debashish Sen's mood
There
is
is a
all
DRS call against Harmanpreet, and I do think it's out.
Oh, so quite interesting. India versus South Africa, both men's and women's, is
Why
going
is
to be.
Boryada looking tensed? He seems to know something about the India South Africa match, which we don't.
Not sure.
Why are you tensed? What happened? What is Lududa telling you?
He's saying there is something going on with that Twitter account again. Just check once.
Oh goodness. On that note, let's call it a live. We'll meet you soon at 11 a.m. We'll be going live on the Hindi platform. So join us there as well, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and keep showing your support. See you before the match at 5 p.m. Do join us. Goodbye. Have a great day.